Race for a Champions League spot is back on. Hey everyone, it is Finn here. That is FYW, and I hope you're all having an amazing week. And in this video, once again, it's another match week prediction video. It is match week 28 predictions along with my fantasy team. So in this video, we will be going over my Premier League predictions for every single match coming this match week 28. It is flying by so fast. After this match week, there's only 10 games for every team left, which, I mean, that's insane to think about. The team has, the season's gone by so fast. Along with that, as I said, my fantasy team, who I think will perform well. Once again, obviously at the end of the video, after my predictions, I will be talking about that. So if you like Premier League content or football content, you know what? If that's for you, then do subscribe to be part of this beautiful community, because I am trying to get this channel to grow. It has been a bit slow lately, so if everyone here watching could please just share it with a friend, or if you yourself are not subscribed, please do that. Norwich versus Leicester City is the first game that we do have, and I mean, it really could be a tricky one because last time these two teams played against each other, it didn't necessarily go to plan for Leicester City, but I think it will go towards Leicester City's way this time. They did lose against Manchester City in the previous game, only by 1 goal, and I do have to say throughout the whole game, Leicester City looked so incredibly strong. I mean, Schmeichel, I mean, your father must be so proud of you. I mean, come on, what an amazing performance by him. Overall, as I said, it's just Leicester City looking so incredibly strong overall. I have to say, I do think Leicester City are going to win a very comfortable margin of 3-0 away from home, although Norwich can look very strong. I mean, attack-wise, they have not been getting goals in the last few games. They really have struggled to score. I mean, I don't know what's happened to them. They've really gone downhill, but I do have to say Leicester City, by a country mile, looks so much stronger. Brighton versus Crystal Palace is next. Brighton haven't actually been on form lately. I mean, they started off the season so well, but then it's just plummeted. It has not done well. Crystal Palace, same. They started off so strong, but not doing well at all. I mean, their last few games have been shocking, to say nonetheless. I do have to say, I cannot choose a clear favorite, and therefore, what do? I do the weak thing, and I choose a draw. A 1-1 draw, that is exactly what I am going to do. To me, a 1-1 draw makes the most sense because both teams have struggled to score in their last few games, and they have struggled to really just hit that mark of form. Bournemouth versus Chelsea. Now, last time these teams played against each other, Bournemouth won 1-0 in December last year. I mean, Chelsea is a very weird team because they'll win against big teams. They'll win against a team like Spurs, and then they'll most likely go and lose against a team like Bournemouth. Of course, Chelsea aren't in best form. They did lose against Manchester United a week or two ago. I mean, I'm not going to go on about that too much. But I do have to say, I mean, Bournemouth is a team that Chelsea have always struggled with. In their last 9 games, Bournemouth have won 4 and Chelsea have won 5. I mean, Bournemouth is pretty close to equaling Chelsea in their last few appearances. I don't know what it is about Bournemouth. I really don't. I remember a season or two ago with Maurizio Sarri, when Chelsea lost 4-0 and it shocked the entire world. I have to say, though, that I do think Chelsea will win this one. I mean, it would be very weird if they didn't, because every game between these two, I mean, only one team seems to score majority of the time, not all the time, but it always seems to be one-sided to one team. I'm going to go with Chelsea, a 2-0 win. Let's see if they can do anything away. Luckily, it's not home for them, because, I mean, they're not really doing well at home by any means. Tiny bit like an orphan club. Aston Villa versus Sheffield United. Aston Villa hasn't performed at any stage of the season, really, where Sheffield United, I mean, they look like they could compete for a Champions League spot. Can you imagine the headlines next season?
Sheffield United face
Real Madrid in the Champions League. That's something really weird. I would love to see if they look, although I'm a United fan, part of me wants Sheffield United to qualify ahead of us, just so that you can see how Sheffield United does and who they play in the Champions League. I do have to say, overall, Sheffield United have looked just a much better team overall. They haven't gotten that many more wins than Aston Villa necessarily, but Aston Villa have gotten a lot more losses, where Sheffield United have maybe picked up on draws instead of those losses. I have to say 2-1 to Sheffield United. Their attack is just looking so much better and so much cleaner overall. And at the same time, it is a very tricky one because Aston Villa's Pepe Reina has done extremely well lately. So it really is like, will this be Pepe Reina's day? Because on his day, Pepe Reina is unbeatable. He is in the top 10 in the Premier League for the most clean sheets of all time. So, I mean, it could go either way, but I don't know, I'm going to edge towards Sheffield United on this one. Newcastle versus Burnley. Newcastle been performing this season. Burnley been performing this season. Burnley looks like they could get in the top 10 for the Premier League. I mean, Newcastle at times as well. It is a very tricky one. I'm going to go a 2-0 to Burnley away from home. Nick Pope has looked absolutely fantastic, and this might sound controversial, but I prefer Nick Pope over Jordan Pickford in the England squad. Now, that's just a quick reminder in my head, cheeky plug, that I have started a controversial series on YouTube where every Saturday I'm going to try upload a video in the morning where I post your controversial opinions. I ask you guys for your controversial opinions, you send them in to me, and I answer them on Saturday morning. So go check that video out. I'll put it in the I thingy up above. You can check your controversial opinions.
You won't regret it.
But overall, Burnley is looking very strong. I mean, look at results like that they've gotten recently. That is insane, and I definitely think they can carry a 2-0 win over to Newcastle. Overall, I cannot see Newcastle competing against Burnley because Burnley, I don't know, there's just something magical about them at the moment. West Ham versus Southampton. Southampton obviously have picked up form where West Ham really looked like they could go in the relegations, or they could get relegated this season, which is where David Moyes has not done what he's promised. And at the same time, Sheffield United, or not Sheffield United, wrong team, Finn. Southampton looked very, very strong. I'm going to go 2-0 win to Southampton because I do think they can do it because Ings is on form. There's just so much speed and pace. And I mean, it is this Southampton that we've all grown to love from last season and previous seasons that has now started to show in the Premier League. It's not that Southampton that was horrible in the beginning of this season. I think Southampton can get a comfortable 2-0 win against West Ham. Watford versus Liverpool. I mean, last time these two teams played against each other, Liverpool only won 2-0, and that's when Watford was doing extremely bad. And I mean, now that Manchester United has beat Watford 3-0, you was like, you know what, maybe Watford would want to pick up after this, but nah, I'm going to go for Liverpool, a 4-0. I mean, let's be honest, when in Manchester United, yes, I know we've been starting to improve more and more. I mean, at the same time, whatever United can do to a team, Liverpool can do better. And I just had a talk to someone in my class today, and they was asking me why I think Liverpool's the best team in the world. I mean, I don't know, there's just, you look at Liverpool and you go like, I hate you. Liverpool are just so annoyingly good at the moment, and I cannot see Watford being the one to get any sort of points from them. And just in this game specifically, whether you think Liverpool's the best team in the world or not, in comparison to Watford, I do have to say, yeah. Everton versus Manchester United. Now, of course, this is always a tricky one for me because as a Manchester United fan, I always like to put United first sometimes. I mean, because I always do see the good in Manchester United, and yes, I do definitely see the bad. I do want to say, since Bruno Fernandes has joined Manchester United, he has looked amazing. 3 Premier League appearances, 2 assists and a goal. I mean, he's doing so much better in his start to this club than I could have ever hoped for, and he is a team-changing kind of player. I think he is really just wow. I mean, he's the kind of player you look at and you say, you know what? United could now qualify for the Champions League, bar the fact that you have to be 5th now to qualify for the Champions League. I have to say, Manchester United, you are a different animal now that Bruno Fernandes is around. Scott is back, he is fit. Overall, our defense isn't looking too bad. We have gotten so many clean sheets lately. In the last 3 games, we've gotten clean sheets, Manchester United. And I mean, that's not something I say often, and it makes me so happy. It makes my little heart so happy to say that. Do I think we're going to get a clean sheet this time? Nah, I don't. I mean, there's just something about Everton that can look so strong. I'm going to go for Manchester United 3-1 win. Whether Ancelotti's men can really counter and do something against us, it's very possible. I thought they could win against Arsenal, but against Manchester United, whether it's a similar story or not, I don't know. I just think with Bruno Fernandes, I think United just have that one level up, and I'm going for a 3-1 win. Manchester City versus Arsenal. Now, this is one of those things where everyone's like, oh, Arteta versus Manchester City. I mean, the club he was assistant manager to, he's now managing again, so it's going to be cool. I think he really stands a chance. I don't know how revolutionary Arteta really is to Arsenal. I haven't seen that much of a change. Yes, Mustafi has bleached his hair, but past that, I can't say I've seen too much of a difference, to be honest with you. I still see Manchester City as the obvious winners, and I think I could go big enough to say 3-0 win to Manchester City at the Etihad Stadium. I mean, yes, they got that Champions League ban, Manchester City, but the fans do know that they're not banned from the stadium, right? Spurs versus Wolves is the last one, and normally I would love to say Spurs, and anyway, I'd like to say it's a very close game because normally it's very close between these two teams. But you know what? Without Son, now that Eriksen's left, without Kane, I don't know if they really stand a chance. Even if Son is somehow back, I don't know how long his injury is for. Even if Son is back, I still don't know if I back Spurs. I do have to say Wolves. I know that's quite a tricky one, but I'm going to say I think Wolves will win 1-0 away against Mourinho's men. I don't know. There's just something very close. I mean, Mourinho's men only won by 1 goal last time out. I don't know, it's going to be a tricky one. Quickly into my fantasy team, and the changes I have made is, yes, I got Bruno Fernandes in my team. As you can see right there, the changes I made is I've bought Bruno Fernandes and I've swapped him out for Maddison. Maddison has left. Yes, Maddison's been doing so well for me, but Bruno Fernandes is on top form at the moment. And I mean, I love Manchester United. Another change I've made is I sold Jimenez and I did get Maupay in. I think that's how you pronounce it, the Brighton striker. Not necessarily because I think he's better than Jimenez, but because I wanted to afford Bruno Fernandes. Other changes I made is I took Pope out and I started Schmeichel because Schmeichel was on the bench last week, which, by the way, I played my boost for my bench and I forgot to put Peter Schmeichel on my team. So therefore, Schmeichel got a triple boost and I ended up getting or however many boosts you get, but I ended up getting so many points off of Schmeichel last week, and it's the happiest I've been with a choice in a very long time in fantasy team. Okay guys, I hope you have enjoyed this video. Once again, if you like Premier League content, if you enjoy just watching me in general, and if you want to take part in my controversial series, do subscribe to this channel. I would really love and appreciate it so much. Hit the bell notification to be notified as soon as I do notify or upload more videos. You can be notified. Obviously, my Instagram, if you want to go check out that when I do upload that kind of thing. But guys, I hope you all have a fantastic day because every single one of you is awesome, and have a great rest of your week. Has been fun. FYWN. Stay awesome. Cheers.